Hello, welcome to the Sacred Priestess Podcast, a supportive space where I share teachings, tools, and insights to help you activate your divine feminine power and bring you clarity, connection, and purpose on your spiritual healing journey. I'm Hayley. Thank you so much for being here today, wherever you are in the world, whatever you're up to. I do want to quickly apologize in advance. There is some sort of children's party or something going on next door. If you hear kids screaming, that's why that is. So hopefully while I'm talking, hopefully I'm louder than they are and you won't hear them so much, but they are having a lot of fun and they're all giggling and it's actually kind of cute. But yeah, so anywho, let's get stuck in today. We are talking about the goddesses as a guide. So working with the archetypes on your spiritual journey and how they bring help and support and love to us as we, move along our path of self-discovery, of healing, of really getting to know who we are and activating that divine feminine wisdom, that divine feminine power within us. So the goddesses meet us on our journey, and I think we often think of their energy and their connection as being really outside of self, which we're going to talk about a little bit more in a minute. But, we don't want to be admiring, worshipping the goddesses. We need to think of them more as mentors, as mirrors on our journey. They have their own lived experience, their own knowing and knowledge and streams of consciousness from their own evolution and their own spiritual journey, their own spiritual path. So we want to, like I said, think of them more as mentors and, learning from them with what they bring through with their keys, like I said, to guide us through our own spiritual awakening. So today I just want to share how they support us in our journey, how they support us in the seasons that we're going through, and how the Priestess Path and the divine feminine and connecting to that is all within us. And what they're actually helping us to do is see that within ourselves, like I said, from their own stories, and to activate the power from within. So what I want to start off with is this, is that the goddesses are mirrors. So the problem that happens when we step into our spiritual journey, and whether you're new to the Priestess Path, whether you're new to working with goddesses, or if you've been on your journey for a while, even working with spirit guides and angels, the problem that happens when we step into this work is that we fall into hierarchy and we're constantly trying to get answers from our spirit guides, answers from God, answers from the angels. We have this hierarchy that they know more than we do, that they're more evolved than we are. And at a soul level, there's a lot of us right now who are awakening, who actually have a lot of knowledge, a lot of inner wisdom, a lot of deep inner experience that is equal to our guides and our angels, that is equal to the goddesses. It's just that because we are here in this space with this body, with, stuck in this matrix, that we don't know that. We haven't realized, we haven't fully awakened to that yet, which is what's happening right now. So we don't want to be holding the goddesses up as being better. That they are mentors for our journey. And the priestess understanding is that the goddesses reflect aspects of consciousness, aspects of ways of being that actually already live within us. Those who are being called to the Priestess Path, especially through this lineage of Mary Magdalene, of Goddess Isis, if those two names, if you are new here and you're a bit new to the Priestess Path, those names may really resonate with you. And that's because you've worked and walked with these goddesses before. You've worked and walked within their energy, been a part of their mystery schools, walked with them in service, walked with this lineage of the rose already activated within you from, so many lifetimes before this. So it's already something that is within us. And when we connect to the goddesses, we're not really learning anything new. What we're doing at this point of our evolution, in this time, in this space, as we awaken on this planet, is we're just really remembering and activating that consciousness within us that's already within our DNA, already within our energetic field. So in the mystery schools, as initiation, in my mystery school, in the initiation, in the priestess initiation, we learn their stories. We learn the keys that they bring through from their lived experience, from their consciousness that actually mirrors aspects of our own life that we are walking through right now. And so these keys and these mirrors actually help us to find that clarity, find connection, find purpose, find the confidence within ourselves, find sovereignty in our personal power to actually walk our path with more ease and flow. They ignite and activate understanding within us. So, we need to be really careful of that hierarchy because, like I said, it keeps us searching outside of self, which takes away our personal power. It takes away our sovereignty. It takes away the understanding that we have everything within us that we need within our sacral womb, within our sacred womb center, within our soul, our higher self. When we're connected to that and we're walking in that and using these goddess teachings and keys as a guide to activate and ignite what's already within us, that's when we really step into our power, not when we're reaching outside. So using them as a guide is really, really important. We don't want, the more we reach outside of self, the more disempowered we are. So we need that self-trust, that inner authority. That's what the goddesses help us to uncover as we walk a path with them. So the different archetypes that we work with bring through, awaken us in different seasons of growth. So when we begin working with the goddesses, we notice that some resonate more than others. And the 7 goddesses that we work with within the mystery school, sometimes you feel really drawn to Aphrodite, sometimes you feel really drawn to Athena. When I first started working with the goddesses, it was Isis that came through really, really strongly for me. Then Mary Magdalene came through really strongly. Then, a few months later, it was Aphrodite that I was working with. So depending on where we're at, what season we're walking through, what healing we're walking through, what we're stepping into, like what we're expanding into, what we're up leveling into, will bring a different resonance. So, you will be attracted to the streams of consciousness and the keys and the stories of the different goddesses that we're going to work with. So, some will speak louder. So as you work with the goddesses, what you'll notice is that for some, you'll be like, oh yeah, that was okay. I got a little bit. And then with the next goddess that you work with, one that's really resonating, the meditation that you do with them, the ritual that you do with them and step into with them will be really powerful, feel really strong within your energy. You'll get through stronger messages, stronger feelings within your body. You'll get more tingles in your body, more sharper images within your third eye as you work with them. So, we do need to remember that just because you're not maybe feeling the work with one goddess, and maybe you'll do a meditation with Athena, but it doesn't come through as strongly as when you do a meditation with Mary Magdalene. And it's not because you don't have a connection with her. It's just that she's not for you right now. It's not what your soul is calling for, what your vibration is calling for in order for you to heal, integrate, and up level into your next level of being. So for instance, if you're at the moment really connected to working with Goddess Isis, it might be that you're really in a space where you're remembering, clearing, and activating your psychic abilities. Another key that Goddess Isis brings through is balance. And so maybe at the moment you're needing balance between home, work, family. Maybe the balance is a bit off there, and that's something that she's bringing through to you because she really had great balance as a mentor and a leader, as a mother, as a wife. So that may be something that you're really resonating with right now, and that what she needs for you. For Mary Magdalene, if she's really calling to you right now, it may be that you're in a place where you're stepping into deep devotion, where you're actually really starting to walk out on your priestess path, where you're starting to work with ritual and meditation for what you need right now. And so if she's really resonating with you, it may be because that's what you're stepping into. So they all bring through different things that they're going to help us with. So when they do resonate with you, it's something that is ready to be healed, something that is ready to be reclaimed or expressed. And, the goddesses meet you where you're at. Spirit meets you where you're at. So if you're new to your journey, they're not going to necessarily flood through a heap of information, bring up a heap of healing. They're not going to do that if you're in the beginning of your journey. They'll start to come through subtly. They'll give you little hints, little drops, maybe just through an oracle card, maybe just through a feeling that you get when you hear their name, maybe, a circle or an event comes up where their name's mentioned and you feel called to go there. So, they do meet you where you're at on your journey, which is one of the beautiful things about beginning to work in this space and work with spirit. You're never behind, and that's one thing that we really need to remember. They're just always going to meet you where you are, which is beautiful. So on that, this is why we need to work with many different goddesses and not just one particular archetype, because there are many aspects to the divine feminine. And the priestess, as you walk your priestess path, we honor wholeness, we honor all the layers, we honor all the energies, we honor all the transitions that we walk through and that we go through, and different goddesses support these different layers of growth through the keys that they do bring forward, and each has like an overarching key. When I work with the goddesses that we work with in the initiation, in the mystery school, they all have like an overarching key theme, and then there are different keys within that overarching theme that they bring forward to us. And so we're going to talk about those in a minute, but this comes from their own existence that they had. It comes from the mastery. The reason that they are all where they are right now as ascended masters is because they mastered the divine feminine. They mastered their abilities, their psychic abilities, their healing, their growth. And so now they are able to bring through those streams of consciousness to us. So we don't want to fixate on one certain archetype and just only work with that one goddess, because that does not bring expansion to us, right? We have expansion, and we step into expansion within our lives by being open to all and open what is needed. And this is the beautiful thing about the priestess path, about the unfolding of that rose geometry within us, is that it unfolds the path before us. And as we lean into that, and as we lean into our healing and our journey, we allow all these different energies to come into our path to work with. And so if we're just like, no, I'm only ever going to work with Mary Magdalene, like she's the be all and end all, we're going to be missing out so many different areas of expansion for our life within these other places, within self-love, within becoming a great leader, within self-love. So did I say that already? Like I said that twice. Sorry if I did. But yeah, so we want to be open to all of this, because when we're open to expansion in that way, we learn more, we grow more, and we step into a bigger realm of possibility. And when we step into a bigger realm of possibility, we step into our highest timeline where anything is possible, where we can gain abundance financially, within our relationships, with joy, with adventure, with all of those things that we desire for our lives, right? Those desires are put on our heart for a reason. And when we open ourselves, like I said, to expansion, we open ourselves to the possibility of these things coming in for us and the alignment with the version of ourselves that we came here to be. So let's talk about the overarching keys that these goddesses bring through. So the things that they mirror to us, that they show to us as we walk along our path. So the first that we work with in the mystery school are the seven sisters, and they bring to us the key of cosmic connection, the understanding that we are of this earth, but we are also of the heavens, that we do have starseed connections, that we do have galactic connection. And we are a beautiful conduit between the stars, between this beautiful galactic consciousness, this cosmic womb. We are a beautiful conduit for the divine feminine to bring that down from the cosmos and filter that into the earth. The next goddess we work with is Sophia, of course, who brings us womb wisdom and connection to our womb wisdom, healing within this space, healing ancestral patterning in there, healing the four core wounds of the feminine, the sisterhood wound, and what they call the bitch, the witch, and the whore wound, which I don't really like using, but it's the one that they're the ones that everyone remembers if you say it that way. So she brings out the clearing of that and that deep connection to ancient womb wisdom and to what that is, what that means, and how we can use that within our lives as we walk our path. Goddess Isis, of course, we work with, who helps us to awaken our divine magic. She is all about, one of her biggest keys is that of psychic ability, of mystery school remembrance, of remembering the psychic abilities, the healing abilities that you have already mastered in your lifetime. So she helps us clear past life blocks and wounding around that as well. So that's one of the keys that she brings through under the overarching theme of awakening our divine magic. The next is Athena, who brings through us managing to embody the ancient warrior within us. She's very strategic, brings through a lot of patience, brings through a lot of direction and course setting and leadership with her. So that's the overarching key that she brings to us. Then, of course, there's Mary Magdalene, who roots us into sacred devotion, ritual, all of those kind of things. And if you're interested in working with Mary Magdalene, tomorrow night is our sacred circle with Mary Magdalene to unlock womb wisdom. She's going to help us to ignite the Magdalene flame within us. So I will put the link to that below. Because that's tomorrow. So come and join us. It'll be so much fun. It's so lovely to work with her. The next is Aphrodite, who helps us return to radical self-love. Aphrodite is so beautiful. Her energy is amazing. It's vulnerable. It's loving. It's compassionate. But she does really help us to acknowledge and love our shadow, and to meet ourselves with a lot of compassion as we walk this journey, as we heal, as we grow, as we expand our consciousness. And the last that we work with is Mother Mary, and the key that she brings forward is stepping into soul-led service. She really helps us connect to purpose, connect to why it is that we're actually here and what we're here to bring forward in the world. So they're beautiful keys for us to work with, and we learn these through learning their story. So in the Sacred Priestess initiation, we talk about her story, the truth of her story, and those keys just bring through that beautiful way that we can reflect how that mirrors our own journey, which is beautiful. And that's how we then step into a deeper sense of self, a deeper connection to self. We gain clarity with what we're going through and how to walk on this journey. So it really is a beautiful journey of remembrance, connects us to our inner knowing, to our sacred womb, and reminds us of our abilities as well, and what we're actually capable of if we stand in our sovereignty and we really stand in that divine feminine power. So we take the connection to them, we take the tools, the rituals, the teachings into our own lives. And the Priestess Path is about walking these teachings throughout the day, and embodying them, not just doing them in one ritual in the morning and then forgetting about it for the rest of the day. So, for example, gratitude. Let's take gratitude, because everybody, gratitude and being grateful gets thrown around a lot with a lot of teachings that come through with the spiritual community. So, it's great to get up in the morning and write down 3 things that you're grateful for. And you can say, I'm grateful for all the money that I have. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for my job. But if you then put that journal down and 5 minutes later you go to the supermarket and you're going, oh my God, that was $100. Like, what the F? And you're complaining about it, rather than walking in the priestess way and using these teachings to go, I'm so grateful that I had the $100 to get this extra food. Like, thank you to the farmers, thank you to the people who work in the factories, thank you to the people who open this store to make it possible for me to come and get these groceries whenever I need them. Right. So that's walking the priestess path with gratitude, rather than just having gratitude just because you wrote it down for 5 minutes. If you're not actually walking with it during your day, it doesn't mean anything. You can do all the journaling you want in the world. If you then spend, the next 20 hours complaining about money and complaining about having to pay for things, it's not going to work. Your gratitude doesn't mean anything. It's about walking with it every day. So notice who you feel drawn to right now. Go back maybe and listen to those goddess names and the keys that they bring through. What do you feel drawn to? What do those goddesses represent, and how can you start connecting into this energy more, into their energy more? Can you just bring them through in meditation? Just think of them as you are walking throughout your day for what they bring. And you can always join us tomorrow in Circle with Mary Magdalene, but I do want you to know that the doors to the Sacred Priestess initiation are actually opening tomorrow as well. So I will put the link in the show notes. This does go out on a Tuesday, so if you do click it, you will get a little bit earlier access if you're listening to this on Tuesday. But the doors officially open tomorrow on Wednesday. But yeah, if you're interested in working with these goddesses, learning to walk with their keys, gain that clarity, connection, and purpose in your journey, and really live a life of joy and abundance and happiness on your path, go and check it out. Check out the Sacred Priestess Initiation. We work with all of these beautiful goddesses week by week to help you connect into your own journey, get a deeper sense of self-worth and self-love and understanding of self. It's really a beautiful experience and a beautiful journey. So go and check that out, and hopefully I will see you in there. Hopefully I will see you tomorrow night. For those of you who are coming to the Mary Magdalene Circle, I will put that link below as well for you if you want to join us there. Otherwise, I will see you next week.